is conscientiousness. Man, I live in this world where everybody contacts me. I probably get 1 to 10,000 direct messages a day on Instagram. And most of them are about like something's wrong and I want it to be better. Like I don't like my life and I don't like how much money I make. And I feel bad for the situation. But I'm gonna tell you this. Here's the deal. People ain't conscientious. And if you're not conscientious, there's nothing anybody can do for you. You can read all the books you want in the world, you can do all this, but here's conscientious. What I mean by conscientious? Attention to details. There's actually 5 subcategories of conscientiousness. If you don't have conscientiousness, you might as well give up right now. Literally. Nothing will work out. You start your own business all you want. It's gonna crash and burn. You can do a New Year's resolution. You can go to commit yourself to a diet. It ain't happening. What is conscientiousness? Look, there's 5 main factors: industriousness, perfectionism, organization, diligence, and prudence. That's what scientists found. There's a 5-facet test. So let me run these through real quick. Number one, which of these do I think is the most important? In this context, I'm gonna say perfectionism. Now, perfectionism is often thought about as a negative thing, but is it really? You get on an airplane, what kind of pilot do you want flying that plane? What kind of engineer did you want building that engine? You want a conscientious one, one who paid attention to details, or someone goes, oh, I don't sweat the small stuff. Well, you don't sweat the small stuff, you crash and die. That's the world we live in now, where people don't sweat the small stuff and their business crash and die, their life and their hopes and their dreams crash and die. Sometimes you just got to pay attention to details. I can't tell you how many people. I had over 75 people a couple years ago. I said, I'm going to take on like an apprentice. I'm going to take on an apprentice. So they come over on the first day and I would do a little test. This is before I actually hired them. And so I'd have simple stuff like I took a hose and I had it unraveled. And I forget what they were working on. Actually, I know what it was. They walked by it. Only one person noticed and rolled it up nicely and put it away. And that's the person I paid attention to, because this guy has attention to detail. And like the University of Pennsylvania study shows, conscientiousness, attention to detail, industriousness, organization, perfectionism, diligence, prudence is positively correlated, directly related to you making more money, you doing all the stuff you want to do. Now, people don't tell us this message, but I'm telling you the truth right now. If you can't pay attention to detail, if you just say, oh, Ty, I'm a big picture person, I'm ADD, well, you can be a broke person. So be whatever you want. But don't come whining when you can't figure out what's wrong. Next, you've got so perfection, organization. You know, some people can't sit in a chair. People say, oh, Ty, you read a book a day, how do you do that? Well, you gotta be organized. You gotta be able to sit in a chair 10 minutes a day. Focus in an organized fashion. Okay, this is the time of the day that I do this basically every day. Sometimes it changes. That takes organizational power. Being able to put together a to-do list and organize it in the right order, because you're not gonna get to all the lists, so you gotta do the first things first. That's hard for people. Why? I don't know. It's not that hard, you know? What's another trait? So that's, I talked about perfectionism, I talked about organization. How about diligence? The average person who sets a New Year's resolution on the 1st of January, by the 30th of January has given up because they have no staying power. Diligence is staying power. You know, who can stick it out? It's like, who can stick it out when the going gets tough? Most people can't. They got no diligence. Prudence. Prudence is the ability to make good decisions. Some people, I just got friends, whenever they should go left in life, they go right. Whenever they should go right, they go left. They're always crashing and burning, because they have no ability to think through, what would a smart person do? That, to me, that's what prudence is. You pretend there's someone smarter than you sitting in that room, and you ask yourself, what the heck would that smart person do? There's a situation, it's like people start, this guy was over here at the house. He said to me, Ty, I'm building an app, like, I don't know, he wanted my advice on making more money. I said, well, you know, why don't you test the app, see if it works? And he said, I already put $1 million into building the app before I even launched it. I said, have you ever launched an app before? No. You ever made money before? No. Why the hell would you drop $1 million when you can make a working app to test the concept to see if anybody will buy it before you sink your whole million. He spent all his money on it. I said, you could probably done that for 10 or 20 grand, then see if anybody wants it. But see, that takes a prudent person who thinks, what would a smart person do in this situation? Would a smart person jump headfirst into something and drop $1 million, a whole life savings before it's even tested? No, only an idiot does that. And you know, an idiot and their money are soon parted. So that's what we went through. Oh, and then industriousness. Industriousness is just the ability, sometimes you gotta be able to work hard. Now, working hard, I talk a lot about this, is not the only answer because you got to work smart. It's a multifaceted thing. That's what I was talking about: industriousness, perfectionism, organization, conscientiousness, diligence, and prudence. It's a multi-factor. But at some point, once you know what you're doing, you see the path, you're organized, you're paying attention to detail. Sometimes you got to be able to put your head down and just put in long hours. But I want to say, some people think just putting in long hours, just grinding, just working hard makes you successful. It doesn't. It's a combination of facets, a combination of traits. And most people, like I said, it's hard to fix stupid. Some people are too stupid enough to understand. They'll argue with you on one point. No, it's working hard that makes you money. It's multifaceted. It's like playing basketball. You can't just know how to shoot free throws. You got to know how to dribble, play defense, rebound, pass the ball. You got to understand how to remember plays. It's in soccer and football. Every sport is multifaceted. But people, when it comes to success, they want one thing. A very common question I get is, what's the one thing I need to be successful? Well, I just gave it to you. Be more conscientious, which breaks down into 5 sub-facets.